I don't think we're live yet. Now we're live. Oh, Dennis, how do you feel knowing that we have half of the film festival shot and ready to almost go to our editor?
Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, actually.
Man.
I am quite excited about that. That is quite nice. It's right around the corner, man. It's just creeping up.
I'm excited for our sit down that we had with the with our previous Golden Toaster Award winner, and I can't wait for our upcoming other interview with the other winner.
God, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what we're talking about, folks, we're talking about Movie Toast, the festival, which is happening December 16th. It's going to be a fun time.
That's right. Yeah. It'll be we've been the same festival we've been hyping up all year, and we've done 2 years prior. It's all digital. Will be hosted on YouTube, but you can watch it with us live. The Toasties will be there and ready to chat with you as the films go on by. But it's creeping away, so be sure to mark your calendars and hope to see you there. But
heck yeah!
Before that, I think we got a little show for you. What do you say, Adam? We kick this thing off?
Let's do it. Let's run that theme song, baby.
It's the Movie Toast Show, here for you. Dennis and Adam joke about orgasms and sweet movie reviews. We talk about TV too, right?
I think so.
Yeah? Yeah.
Movie Toast.
Oh boy, episode 175. We are in it, Dennis. It's happening.
That we are, sir. Yeah. It's hot off a heavy movie holiday season. It's still we even still had freaking Treehouse of Horrors not even happening till last weekend now, but well after Halloween, so it's kind of all over the place. It wasn't a too Halloween season for me. I don't know. Yeah. Little, some splashes of it, but not as intense as I feel like years past. But I don't know. How about yourself?
It was a pretty sad Halloween, man. We barely got rid of all our candy. The kids were sporadic. I don't know. It wasn't as great as I wanted it to be, but who cares? I'll tell you what I'm sad about, Dennis. Last night, there was a midnight showing of Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny at the New Beverly Cinema, and KG was there, and I wish I was out in Los Angeles still.
Oh, man. Shit. That would have been awesome. Fuck.
But I saw Trolls band together, so it's a trade-off, I guess.
There you go.
But I'm not reviewing it today.
I know it's one of your favorites. I know it's one of.
It's the finer of the DreamWorks animation films, and they did not disappoint. And NSYNC Trolls were back. And by back, they're there. Sorry.
That's
man.
Great.
So what's new with you? What's going on?
Oh, not too much. Had a nephew was born since the last episode, so. Mrs. has flown out to go visit him. I'm staying home with the pup, so we're watching all the crazy random movies and shows I wouldn't normally stream, I guess.
Well, that works out for the show, at least, I guess.
Yeah, right. There you go. Watched a few extra movies and watched the entire season of friggin' The Old Man, which I love that. That kicked ass. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's it's not the same though. I like it and I like having someone else around. So that's
it's nice. It's nice to have someone.
The movie viewing's been good.
On.
Oh yeah.
Good. Do you want to go into our favorite segment, polls?
Oh, sir, you know it.
Oh yeah. Just like I thought, we had one viewer, and then we're just sitting there dancing to polls. But fuck it, it was worth it because polls is fantastic, and it's all good. Yes. So unfortunately, as the world knows, Matthew Perry passed away recently.
Yes.
And so I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite Matthew Perry movie was out of 17 Again, Saving Sarah, The Whole Nine Yards, and Almost Heroes.
Oh, interesting. I gotta say, my personal favorite Matthew Perry movie isn't on the list, unfortunately.
The Whole 10
I would say
Yards?
Fools Rush In.
That's a good one with
Fools
Selma
Rush In.
Hayek.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
good
great.
stuff.
And apparently that was one of his
there.
favorite roles, too.
Huh.
But
fair enough.
Out of these, though, probably Whole Nine Yards. That's such a weird grouping of people together. Like the last sort of cast I would expect to all be in the same movie, and that was funny. But then Almost Heroes is funny too.
I feel like it's a tie for Saving Sarah and The Whole Nine Yards, but I think out of sheer amount of times I've watched it and enjoyed it, had to be The Whole Nine Yards. But it's been a while. It's been like 2 or 3 years since I've attempted to watch it. Last time I watched it, did it hold up as good as it did when it came out on DVD? Debatable. But yeah, let's see what the Toasties thought about it.
Yeah, what they'd say.
Unfortunately, 0% for both Almost Heroes and Saving Sarah. And by saving, I mean serving.
You mean serving.
Like an illiterate son of a bitch. And
we're not serving Silverman.
50 for The Whole Nine Yards and 17 Again, which is interesting. I was wondering how 17 Again would kind of go because he was barely in it, but he was still kind of the main character. And you get
Zac Efron was in it, so yeah, that's like automatically getting points. That's true. You're right. It's like hot off of the fucking
High School Musical.
Yeah,
1, 2, I don't know. One of those.
3 probably, because all I could think of is because we went to the fucking Saw marathon the night that 3 premiered, and it was just kids in leather jackets and like Letterman jackets and shit running around, and then all of us coming out of like 6 hours of torture porn.
That is true. That is true.
Memories.
Oh, boy. Good times.
Well,
all right.
What you got next?
Next up, I reviewed the upcoming film. What the fuck was it called? The upcoming film. Wow. Why can I not think of? It doesn't matter. Because if you listen to the episode, you'll know. I don't know. Anyways, it starred Anne Hathaway. And I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite Anne Hathaway movie was out of The Princess Diaries, The Devil Wears Prada, Interstellar, and Les Miserables. I don't know. I said that one wrong.
You know, it's embarrassing. I haven't seen enough of these.
You know, I haven't seen
all the way
through.
Only one I've seen all the way through is Princess Diaries. Somehow I did not get to Interstellar.
I did not either.
But I get that there's so much hype around Devil Wears Prada. If I had to guess, I feel like I've heard more references to that one than anything else she's been in.
Fair enough. And for people who don't remember, like myself, the movie I reviewed that's coming out in December is Eileen. You can hear that great review on episode 174. But I'm with you, Dennis. I feel like The Devil Wears Prada is probably the Toasties' favorite, but like you, Princess Diaries I've seen probably the most out of all of them. I've only also seen Les Miserables. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop butchering that. So the Toasties had
do the shorthand
response. You got Les Mis. 13% for The Princess Diary, 13% for Interstellar, and 13% for Les Mis. And that leaves a staggering 63% for The Devil Wears Prada. Doesn't surprise me at all there.
But no, that's lame. Okay. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But Devil Wears Prada, as far as I know, does not have Hector Elizondo in it. And that's why Princess...
That is very true.
Diaries gets my vote.
Oh, God.
It's that voice, man.
I can't disagree with you. And on the last episode 174, I reviewed a movie called Dix the Musical. So I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite musical comedy movie was out of Singing in the Rain, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Little Shop of Horrors, and Mamma Mia. I was trying to avoid some of your that people think of the most. I feel like I know yours, but I'm intrigued to see what you say because
Singing in the Rain, like without question. Like, you don't need to tell me the rest, unless one of them was Grease. This is
right.
more of a comedy. Grease is, I think, more of a drama, anyways, but it has comedic elements.
As I recall, there was some saran wrap on dicks in that movie, so that was.
I thought that's the focus of.
That is
there is.
It almost got me to rewatch the movie.
Is the that's you should be rewatching it. That movie's great.
I'm good.
Spinning in the Rain
there
easily.
Yeah, for you. For me, I don't know.
It's like I wouldn't be surprised by either Little Shop of Horrors or Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
I feel like you're one of those two, right? You're probably somewhere in there, and you're like,
I mean, those are the two movies that I've seen.
Okay.
I've never seen Mamma Mia or Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I hear there's rumors that Mamma Mia 3 may be coming.
So, oh, good Lord.
Yeah. So let's see what the Toasties have to say. 11% for Singing in the Rain and 11% for Little Shop of Horrors. And then that leaves 33% for Mamma Mia. I don't know why I put a question mark and an exclamation mark, but I did.
Mamma Mia.
Shocking odd. That leaves 44% for the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Which, that, fair enough. Especially for the Toasty audience, that I feel like makes a lot of sense to me. That's it's a crowd pleaser. That's one, like, if you've never seen it, you've got to watch it at least once. It's such a trip. It's like, I'm overdue for a viewing. It's been a long time. I could do the time warp again.
Right. I feel like my drive-ins has played it a lot recently. Have not gone.
I feel that could be fun.
At one point, we were gonna see it at the drive-ins. We went to the drive-ins with my dog, but then it was barking so much when Beetlejuice was on, we decided we would peace out.
Oh, he's kind of scary. He scared me as a child.
He's a spooky guy when he turns into the worm, and when he,
oh yeah, when his head shrinks and all that shit. I guess it's like the very end, but still, yeah. Just when I think it's not scary again.
I will say, going back to Tenacious D, they have a rendition of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the Time Warp song. If you haven't heard it, it's worth checking out on the YouTube or on.
That'd be awesome.
They got a lot of people. They were doing it during the pandemic, so they got a lot of people in Zoom. I think Susan Sarandon's even there, and some other familiar faces jumping in doing it.
That's amazing.
Or you can just listen to the D doing it on Spotify. But anyways, we're not here for any of that. I feel like the Toasties are here for reviews, Dennis. And I'm going to kick things off if you don't mind.
Please, let's do it.
All right. Up first, I have a new anime movie that just released, called it's a tongue tire, The Tunnel to Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yes, there we go.
You.
That's the one right there. And that's the proper stream we're supposed to be on. Still learning curves. This movie,
we got it.
It's beautiful. It's about two teenage kids, a new girl that just came to town, and a kid who has friends, but they're kind of outcast a little bit. And they discover this tunnel, this abandoned tunnel, that when you go inside of it, it's this beautiful world where time and space just isn't what it appears to be on the outside world. Like, and it's said that your wishes will be granted. Your deepest inner wishes will come true. And they both have things that they want. So they're trying to explore and figure out how to get that to work. And they realize that time is different from the outside world than there. Like, even a minute inside there is like a day in the outside world, and like a couple of seconds is a few hours. So they're just always testing the boundaries, and they're growing a relationship as that's going on. It's beautiful. Like, the artwork is magnificent. I saw the dub version, and the dub was nice and clean and had very good voice actors, I thought. And they use the camera. The use of the camera in this animation is very slick and kind of fun. It just I haven't had this much emotion out of an anime since I want to say a couple of years, when this anime came out a while ago called Your Name. Like, it hasn't hit me that hard in anime that's kind of beautiful like this.
Wow. Quite nice.
Definitely worth checking out if you're an anime fan. Yeah. If not, if you just want a nice, sweet story,
cool.
also worth checking out. But I think you got
That's
something
an intriguing plot
more,
too.
It really is, like, unique, interesting. I'm not complaining. Yeah. But you got something a little spooky coming up, I think.
That I do. I had to drag out the spooky season just for one more episode, and there was a Halloween movie that I had yet to be introduced to until recently. And funny enough, I can thank my local entertainment news desk that they were suggesting movies, and this was the top of his list of just. He said it's one that just doesn't get mentioned enough. I'm talking about Halloween 3. So this is actually the first entry in the series, and I think the only entry in the Halloween series to not actually have Michael Myers as the villain. He's not the antagonist, which like that intrigued me right away. It's like, well, then what the fuck is this thing? Completely different story that just happens to take place in Halloween. And what I found kind of interesting about why they took that route is, so once John Carpenter saw the huge step down in returns for Halloween 2, just like the reviews were not good for it. They did not make the money that they were hoping for. He was kind of like, I'm done with it. The studio said, no, but we still need enough. We want to keep the series going. And Carpenter told him, okay, I'll be on board for another Halloween movie, but there's no Michael Myers. We're going to take that out of it. It's going to be a series. Halloween will now be a series of stories that simply take place around Halloween. They're all just going to be their own enclosed things. And he wants to just come from a completely different direction. Now, funny enough, if you are eagle-eyed, you actually do get to see Michael Myers in the movie, but not in the context you'd think. But so the setup for the story is that there's this large novelty toy company that is famous for making these Halloween masks that they're pushing the new line of them this year. And there's throughout the film, there's TV sets that are on, and they have a commercial every day counting down to Halloween. And our main character is this ER surgeon who's been witnessing these mysterious deaths, these strange figures in suits coming in the hospital. A patient was murdered. And there's it's all connected to, he's trying to trace back to where all this guy came from that died. His daughter came to town to try to figure out what's going on. So through one thing or another, we end up finding out these fucking masks kill you. They've devised this device that they've implanted on the back of the mask that when they play this commercial at this given time on Halloween, when all the kids are sitting from their TV sets, some gnarly stuff happens that I don't even want to describe because it's so much better to just see it unfold. But it's like some crazy stuff happens to the wearer of the mask, and they die a horrific death. And the intent was just to do this as a prank, I guess.
Kill it. That's a prank.
I do have to say, funny. One of the things I thought was funny though is I like to these old school trailers, like to go back and check out. And after watching the movie, I went and found an old theatrical trailer for this film, and the tagline was "The night no one comes home," except the whole plot of the movie kind of requires you to come home and sit and watch TV for it to work.
Taglines, they'll get you.
I guess it's exactly right. It's like the person who wrote it probably never even read the script or watched the movie. But I had a blast watching this thing. This small town that it's taking place in, we kind of all over the place. I feel like we're really living in this world. We got this weird relationship with this kind of like semi-neglectful father. He's present, but he's just like addicted to his job. He's kind of a ladies' man, and he just jumped in like both feet first to try to solve this mystery. And the world they delve into and the technology available to them and the lore behind all of it I found fascinating, and I honestly had a great time watching this thing. It's cheesy as hell. It's not like the greatest quality of anything. Acting is often over the top, but it was a lot of fun. I'm going to give Halloween 3 Season of the Witch 3 slices of toast. That's a very valid entry in the Halloween series. And I had a great time watching it. It was available on Peacock last time I saw it. I don't know if that's changed hands quite yet, but you might still be able to go check it out there.
I know friend of the show, Rick, has he loves that. It's his favorite entry. He used to talk about it all the time. And I don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet, because I'm intrigued. And that reminds me,
so
I did
weird.
not give a slice scale to the Tunnel film. If I had to give it a slice scale, and I do, it's 3.5 slices. It's a beautiful film.
Yeah,
So
okay, nice.
check it out. Yeah. Question for you really quick. Did it jump off from did your microphone switch, because in the middle of it kind of you got a little lower again? I don't know if it's just the connection or not. Just figured I'd check with you. I mean, you sound fine. It's just you're not as loud as you were before.
No.
Okay.
It's the same.
Interesting. Weird.
Maybe one of the other
probably the connection. Anywho,
adjustment, the audio adjustment might have jumped.
Yeah.
Or kicked in.
I have a new film called Radical. This is apparently based on a true story from a couple of years ago. By a couple, I believe like 20-something years ago. It's a Spanish movie, and it takes place in a small border town where crime is running amok. Students normally drop out of the school they're in after a certain period. Nobody has any hope for these kids, and it's just the school is one of the worst schools around that they go to, and there's a specific name that they call it, and the teachers don't care about the kids. The parents really don't care about the kids. The parents kind of want the kids to drop out to do different things. It's sad. And until one day a new teacher joins the faculty, and he wants to try a new version of teaching that he learned off of YouTube, where he kind of lets the kids choose what they want to learn, kind of a funner environment for the kids. And he's really against all odds, because this school, I say, is run down. They don't have a computer lab. They say they do, but it's currently out of use. But there's no computers there, because when they got computers, someone came and stole them all out of there. And they got a grant for computers, and they were supposed to get top-of-the-line computers, but bureaucracy fucked it up. And the teacher goes to the mayor and asks him about this, and ruffles feathers. And the library doesn't even have a complete encyclopedia, barely has any books. The librarian doesn't even want to let the kids come in unless they're scheduled to come in. But this teacher ends up taking kids who never had a shot and making them actually very well-learned students, and kind of changes their lives. And they go on to tell you that like this standardized test that everyone needs to take, he had like made the scores go up for the first time in years. And like one of his students actually got the best score in mathematics in the whole country. And like he just saw potential in these. This is such a beautiful movie, and I saw it because it stars this actor who normally does comic things that I really love, Eugenio Debrez. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but it's just such like a departure. This guy normally does like wacky comedy, but it's more of a drama, and it has subtitles. But it's just such a thrilling story. I was glued to the seat. I just loved every second of it.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna give Radical. I'm gonna give it 4 slices of toast. It was a really solid film. I loved every second. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm even intrigued now. That sounds like something I definitely want to watch.
I think it's limited availabilities in theaters. So if you see it playing near you, please check it out. It's a great little independent movie. One thing that really pissed me off though, the end where they're telling you about what happened with certain students and whatnot. They say, because this took place, I think, in 2005, I believe. They say till this day, they still don't have a computer lab or a library. And it's like, okay, well, you could make a whole movie about this. You could put all this production money into it, but you couldn't donate a computer lab or books to a library. I find that a little fucked up. But I don't know. I know it's not their job to do that. They're just being flies on the wall. I don't know. But yeah, and there's really like horrific things that happen in it and really beautiful things. So check it out, please. It's great.
Damn, nice. Yeah. Oh, you definitely got me intrigued, dude. Seriously.
Yeah. You got something a little superhero-y, right?
Is but say not quite as maybe not quite as heroic as Eugenio in their last film, but I found a little something. I'm a sucker for the R-rated animated comic features on HBO Max and stuff, and of course another new one got posted that sucked me in, and I went to check out Justice League Warworld.
Nice.
So as said before, this is on HBO Max right now, along with the rest of the DC various animated collection there. So this is it's interesting because this one I didn't know anything about going into. I didn't want to watch a trailer. I didn't want to read much about it because I'd rather just I like jumping into these for fun. It's like cracking a comic book open and you just boom, you're in the story. This one fucking does that. I was like, the first few minutes, I was just enamored by seeing a Wild West Wonder Woman just like ripping away on bad guys. And then it's like, then I'm starting to question things though, because she's taking certain actions that really make sense, letting some innocents die. And it's like, it's clear this isn't like Diana Prince that we know. This is like a version of her, I guess. So I'm starting to think like, all right, so this is like another dimension or something maybe. But then before we leave that, she starts making these references of like memories to things that she's trying to recall. I'm like, okay, so we're going to obviously connect back to Batman and Superman at some point, I suppose. Then we get into the next story. It kind of just like, it's not elegant. It just, we're in a sword and sorcery world where this badass looking barbarian dude is surrounded by all these other warriors, and it's clear he's just like, he's left a trail of blood behind him, and they finally like captured him, and he gets taken before that this other ruler. He's just like, so what are you going to do? Execute me? And blah, blah, blah. And you start to piece together, oh, this is this world's Batman. His armor's got he's got the claws, and I forget what those are called, down the sides of his forearms, and he wears a helmet that's all black covering his eyes and all this shit. And he kind of doesn't do much badass stuff in front of us for a while, though. And it's like, wait a minute. He's like part Conan the Barbarian, obviously this world's Batman, but watch other people do cool shit. He's helping him complete this quest in order to make this, for this guy to make his kingdom safe. You got to help me. And Batman stabs him, like fucking leaves him behind. He's just like, yeah, fuck this. You were going to like kill me afterwards anyways, so I'm out of here. And he's doing these very not Batman things. I'm like, so now I'm starting to just get confused. Like, what in the fuck is this? Before, again, he starts commenting on like, oh, I'm remembering something else. And we see another version of Wonder Woman, but totally unrelated to the one we saw previously. Then it jumps again. Now we're in the third story. It's like 1940s. And again, it's just like, oh, fuck. Okay. So here's obviously a Clark Kent, but, no Superman business happening yet. He works for the CIA. He's talking to the alien, like when aliens crash land on Earth, he's the guy that goes to meet and intervene so the aliens don't like meet the rest of meet Americans or some shit. And then just by this point, dude, I'm just getting so like, what the fuck is going on? And we get through this weird convoluted story of it's aliens, and then it's like, oh, all of a sudden now he's drawing connections. Now we're drawing bridges to the other versions, and Wonder Woman and Batman also exist, and he starts to wake up from he's looking at this alien that shows his real face, and it's Martian Manhunter. And it's this bit, and they're like, oh my God. So it's this bit, of course, it is the worst. It was all a dream sort of fucking bullshit. And they're trying to make this place Warworld, where they're going to trap all of they've created this shared dream across all of these different DC characters. So you see like Jonah Hex, you see there's like a version of Green Lantern. It's a handful of a bunch of other big DC characters. This was just a fucking mess, man. It was just, by the time I got to the end of it, I just wanted it to be over. I thought about turning it off, and I'm like, no, I watched this far. It's going to make sense eventually, right? Never does. There was some kind of cool action in it, but the story was not good, and I didn't really like where it landed at all. I'm giving Justice League Warworld 1.5 slices of toast.
Oh boy. I'm sad about this, man. I was looking forward to this movie. Like back in San Diego Comic-Con, I interviewed some producers, writers, and the director of the movie, and they were really talking it up. So if you want to see that, if you want to see how this shit got made, if you like the movie, if you want to hear stuff about it, go over to our YouTube page. The video's not up yet, but it will be up very shortly. Now that Dennis has reviewed this, I don't feel bad tossing it up there. But be warned, it might not be a film that you'll enjoy. Or maybe...
Yeah, just say... Maybe, if you're super into DC, there might be references that you'll see that I didn't, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's
not
rough.
enough there for me. Not enough butter on the biscuits.
No biscuits, no butter. All right, well, I'm going to change things up slightly here. I'm going to go to a movie that's currently in limited release, but doing a big rollout over the next couple of weeks. I'm talking about the new movie not written, but directed by fucking wow. Why am I blanking on his name? I'm
Directed by fucking wow.
If only
that's just legally change your name.
Wow, that's so
wow.
sad. Alexander Payne, folks.
Oh, yeah, we just talking about
Alexander Payne. Yeah, I don't know why.
But
his new film is now out in select theaters, and like I said, coming out to all theaters shortly. It's about a all-boys boarding school back in, I want to say, the 50s, and it's Christmas time, and there's like 4 people left at this school. There's a groundskeeper who we don't see too much of, but he pops in and out every now and again. There's a head chef who recently lost her son in the war, so she's going through some shit. There's a curmudgeonly old school teacher who went to the school, and that's kind of all he's done with his life. And then a student who has a mother who recently got remarried and decided last second she wants to go on a honeymoon months after her marriage during the Christmas break and said, "You're stuck at school. Sorry."
Oh,
so all these people that don't want to be there, they don't get along. It's about them being at this school. And of course, Paul Giamatti wants it to be like, you got to do your homework, do research. We're going to treat this like a regular school day. And like, of course, that has to break up the rhythm a little bit after a while. And then they get in some fun exploits, going out into the town, going to Boston. Just a fantastic film. Like, it's beautiful. The cast is fantastic. Divine Joy Randolph is the chef. And I saw a Q&A after the film with Alexander Payne that is available on YouTube currently. And the moderator asked how she was cast, and it was delightful to hear that he cast her after seeing her in one of my favorite movies of, I want to say, 2020, Dolomite Is My Name. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's fantastic.
Nice.
She was great in that movie, but she is divine in this movie. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
The kid's a newcomer, and he is giving a great performance. Paul Giamatti is always great, and he really has some interesting things. Like, he has a wonky eye in this, and I'm like, does he have a wonky eye? And I've just never noticed. But no, apparently they did it in post somehow, and it's believable.
Oh God.
And
jeez.
It's just a great movie, and it has the vibe of like a 60s movie. Like, from the opening, the rating system comes up in an old style format, and
awesome.
Title card for the company's old school format. I don't know if it's because I saw it in 35 millimeter, but it had the shakiness of the camera. It had the great film burns, the film grain, the music, everything about it was top fucking notch. And it made me sad because I interviewed to be the secretary on this film, and it was one of my worst interviews I've ever had. And I kind of was sad about it back then, and now I'm really sad because this is a great movie, and that's life. But it definitely is a movie that is worth checking out. If you're down for a holiday movie, it works as a holiday movie. It works as a period piece. It's a comedy. It's a drama. It has everything you could possibly want. I'm going to give The Holdovers 3.5 slices. It was a fun watch. Nice. I'll probably see it again when it hits my theaters in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
badass. Yeah, it's like I kept seeing ads for this one, so I was kind of curious. But I'm glad you mentioned it, because there's something sort of about that retro sort of texture and feel to the screen, and I was wondering what direction it was going. So again, you've piqued my interest to it. Another one I gotta go check.
One of the things that Alexander Payne said that was fantastic. He said he didn't want to make like a modern movie. He wanted to make a movie that would have played in cinemas back in that day. And he wanted it to make a 60s movie that would play in the 60s. And I think he nailed it. And one of the awesome things about the screening I was at, they were playing it in the theater that eventually they end up going to in the movie itself. And I
Oh,
was kind of
shit.
sitting in the same seats and row that they were in the balcony. So that was kind of cool.
That's cool. Oh, and you didn't realize that going into it? Just
well, no, they did, of course, because they're like, oh, we filmed a scene in this in this theater, and it's like, that's cool. But of course, they used the exterior of somewhere else, but it was specifically that theater,
yeah.
and so that was kind of fun.
That's neat. Yeah, shit. How often does that happen? That's cool. Dang. Nice. Well, got here for a documentary. I got something for you up next. I know a little bit back I had talked about Schwarzenegger had his documentary miniseries on Netflix. So sure enough, wouldn't take long before Netflix woke up and realized we got to see some of the Stallone. So my next review is Sly.
Oh boy.
So this is it's a pretty quick little doc talking a little bit about the upbringing of Sylvester Stallone himself, and it really kind of we get a little bit of his family backstory and stuff. Didn't have the greatest relationship with his father, was kind of never showed very much, I guess, love for him. Really, it's what it sounds like.
That's just sad.
Kind of, yeah, and it kind of that's what influenced a lot of the characters he played, and him just wanting to just not be that guy. Or funny enough, that was the basis for like Rocky. His sort of tough exterior came from that, but his motivation obviously was something entirely different. But yeah, it was interesting to see just how much, like, you can really get that sense of how important those films were in his life, going from Rocky, and then of course living on through Rambo, that carrying his action career well into the 80s. But what I found kind of surprising, they didn't really talk about anything else. We saw little clips of other movies, and it's like, oh yeah, other things had an impact, but these two were the biggest. I mean, I can't argue that those are his biggest films.
Sure.
Briefly mentioning like Expendables getting to do it again and all that stuff, but it was kind of a funny, like, maybe it's because it wasn't a miniseries. I think if we expanded on some of these topics a little more, it would have stuck. But it just felt a little more self-serving. And this time, like watching this one, it was so like, I got it so tough, but but I got this now, and it's all just like it.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah. I mean, obviously, some of these stories are things I feel like we've kind of heard before about the guy, and we're kind of like, I honestly kind of think they made the documentary because Schwarzenegger got one, so he's like, it's like that classic 80s rivalry that they had when they were releasing their movies, and this kind of feels like just one more little punch in that direction, and he also gets to move, and it's like, so what, did production cover the cost of you moving from one mansion to another, ironically, like, because it's a part of the movie. He's talking about this transitional period of his life and how, like, he's essentially closing the door on so many of these characters that he can't, he's probably done his last Rambo. He's clearly not done freaking doing Expendables movies, but that there's a matter of time before that's really going to start kicking his ass. Just making those types of things, if not maybe at least directing others, writing them for others. I liked the direction they ended up taking the Rocky stuff later, where he got to be a coach himself. But yeah, the fact that this guy has been on screen for 50 years and still doing it. I mean, that is so goddamn impressive. And the guy's he can't stop. It's his. That was interesting too. I like hearing the insight as to what motivates types like him, types like the Schwarzeneggers, all of these guys, and it's often because they are trying to not let themselves back into the meager means that they had before necessarily. So that part was interesting. I did really appreciate, like, he's getting to see him sort of tell the story in that manner. I just wish there was a little more to it. We kind of bounced around the same 2 or 3 topics over and over again. I got a little more insight into his backstory of his personal life, which was interesting, but otherwise it didn't just quite hit me as hard. I think it should have either been longer, at an hour and 35 minutes. It's a documentary. It's like, I don't mind soaking up a little more. I could have seen more. So I'm going to give it 2.5 slices.
Nice.
They're well Netflix for now.
And
but,
something that you were saying, not only being in front of the camera for 50 years, but writing, directing, producing. He's been multifaceted in all this stuff, which is amazing for so long.
Could you? That's the thing that's still. I mean, it's no slight to him. I mean, his first fucking thing out of the gate was goddamn Rocky, and he wins
which he made
Oscar
for himself. Yeah.
Yes. He made to start in, like, how many times did he get told to cast someone else in it, put someone like you are not the guy to be starring in this movie. Fuck him. Look what fucking happened. You know, it's amazing. He gets to tell all those people to fucking eat it, and he's
still playing the character up until a couple of years ago. Fuck yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The man himself, quite impressive. The movie could have been a little more impressive.
I will say, I love his Paramount Plus show, Tulsa King. I tried one episode and then I was hooked. But I am slightly intrigued to check out his reality show, House of Stallone, or whatever it's called. I'm slightly intrigued.
With his daughters.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be good. It's probably bad, but sometimes you need bad.
That superhero movie that he did was awesome. Like, that was the comic book movie he did. That was cool.
I still gotta check that out.
Yeah, I like that. It's like that guy's still got some gas left in the tank. That it's learning how to use what's there now, and he's still fucking he's got it.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound like a piece of shit right now. I don't know why, but this whole past couple of minutes since he started the segment, your camera's been like kind of blurry on you. I don't know if it's autofocusing, if there's a way to course correct it.
It's been more than a couple minutes. It's been like 10.
I just didn't want to cut you off.
I don't know if you were looking at it, but I've been trying to mess with it without stopping.
Yeah, I saw you kind of coming around. Yeah. Sorry, I just didn't want you to. It gives you a mysterious vibe. You're like the guy in a documentary who doesn't want to show his face, who should like give you a monotone voice, but it works. At least we can hear what you're saying. I'm sorry.
It's the unmiked producer's voice off camera.
Sure. Up next, I got a movie that hits theaters this Friday. It's called Your Lucky Day. I checked this out a couple of weeks ago. I got a screener for it, and I got to interview the film's one of the executive producers and the film's editor, same guy. And that's going to be up on YouTube this week on our page at movie_toast over on YouTube. But yeah, I didn't know much about this movie. And normally some of the movies we get are a little rough to watch. So I'm like, all right, I'll go into this with no expectations. And boy, was I pleasantly surprised by Your Lucky Day. So it is about a robbery gone wrong and so much more. So there's this convenience store, a couple of people. There's a couple who are expecting a baby. They're just buying like a pint of ice cream. There's a kind of asshole rich guy who comes in to see if he's won the Powerball type of lottery situation. Then there's a cop who's using the bathroom. And then there's a drug dealer who just got mugged and he's having a bad day. And turns out the rich guy with the ticket has like a $500 million winning ticket, and he's freaking out like anybody would. But it's like, I wouldn't flaunt this here. And then the drug dealer's like, fuck it. He pulls out a gun and he tries robbing the guy in the store. It's like, what the fuck? You're not gonna get away with this. But the guy's like, I'm not giving you this ticket. Fuck it. You can shoot me. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to shoot you, but I will. Give me that ticket. And then the cop comes out of the bathroom and sees this, and he's like a hot shop cop. And everything's almost like downgrade. Everything's almost okay. But the cop escalates it more because he then goes to shoot the guy who is trying to rob the guy, ends up shooting and killing the man with the ticket. And then the guy who's robbing the guy ends up shooting the cop. And then the convenience store clerk and the couple are kind of caught in the crossfire. And then it's about like, okay, I'm going to hold you guys hostage. And but I'm gonna be nice to you. If you go along with the story, if you help me kind of get rid of these bodies and clearly no one's gonna find out this happened. And if they do, let's have all this same story, and I'll give you each $1 million. Change your life. We'll all be rich. And he's trying to persuade them into this. And then, of course, it doesn't go as easy as one would expect. and
Right.
things escalate from there. And there's so much going on in this movie. It's action-packed. You never know where it's going. Edge of your seat thriller. Fantastic. Like, it's so rich. The characters are lived in. It's dark and gritty. It's such a fucking fun movie. And
Badass.
I want to say so much more, but I can't spoil it because, it has so many twists and turns.
Fair enough.
It's called Your Lucky Day. It comes out on November 10th in theaters. Definitely worth checking out. And it stars, I don't know anybody who stars in it, but I guess someone kid that starred in Euphoria who recently passed away. So that's like the biggest star in the movie, I think. But
okay,
it's a great flick. Check it out. I'm gonna give Your Lucky Day 3 slices of toast. It was exceeded my expectations 100 times over. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but that just sounds like a fun fucking story. I like that. That's cool.
It was great. And like even as things are going on, the store clerk's like, what are you doing, dude? You know, even if you have this ticket and you walk away, there's no way in hell they're going to cash it because they got to verify all this stuff and they'll know you didn't. And like, it's like, okay, so what the audience is thinking is being said by other characters. So it's not one of those movies where reality doesn't fit in. Yeah. But speaking of making a lot of money, the two of us have something kind of related to wanting to make a lot of money as a tag team, double team review coming up right next.
Oh yeah, that's a worthy one too. I was curious about this one when I saw it coming out. We're talking about Quiz Lady.
Oh yeah.
Yes, hot new flick from Hulu that just dropped about a week ago. By the time this recording's dropping, we're telling the story of the Yum sisters. These two girls that at a young age, parents split up. It was clear their mom mismanaged money, right? Fast forward to years later, one is the really screwed down, nose to the grindstone, makes sure all the business is handled, and she has one release in life, and that's watching her favorite quiz show that she's watched since she was a little kid. Her sister, a little less responsible, kind of, does her own thing. She sees life through a different lens. That's for sure.
Free-spirited.
There you go. Very free-spirited.
A little wacky.
Well, their mom goes missing from a senior living home. Just boop, gone. And they both have to then. At first, I thought we were like, all right, so this is going to find her, right? We're going to go track her down.
Yep.
No, turns out mom owes $80,000 in gambling debts to this straight up gangster thug dude that loves dogs. And he's like, well, if we can't find your mom, then it's on you. And if you don't pay me back, I'm going to keep your dog. What was the dog's name? It was so cute too.
Linguini. Mr. Linguini.
Mr. Linguini, the pug. Oh
this
my
cute
God,
little 20-year-old pug.
How old's this dog? That was so great. It's a fun trip. I thought it once it really gets rolling, I thought it was going to be a lot edgier than it was. But it was a little refreshing.
And I'm happy it didn't go that edgy. I like riding that fine line.
Right? There's a little bit of suggestive stuff, but nothing that was like it made it a super hard R. That's like, you know what? Mm-hmm. You can sit most of the family in front of the TV to watch this one together, and I think this is a great film to do that with. It's funny. There's a lot of physical comedy as we see right away when Sandra Oh gets the shit knocked out of her in the parking lot.
Yeah, she just gets hit by a car. Yeah, in the background.
Gets up and just starts fucking yelling at the driver. But, that was so great.
So to continue the story, Awkwafina's character is kind of a bookend. She's like a kind of a homebody. She doesn't want to be recognized by anybody, and every time she watches the quiz show, she knows the answers right away. And one day, Sandra Oh takes a video of that and puts it on Reddit, and it blows up. And they want her to audition for the show, and she wants none of that. But she thinks she can get the $80,000 to save Mr. Linguini to pay off her mom's debt. And after being convinced by Sandra Oh, her sister, they set off on that journey. And I love it because I knew nothing about this movie. I tried not watching the trailer. I'm not giant. I'm a big fan of Awkwafina. Sandra Oh's a talented
Yes.
actress, and I like that they changed the script a little bit on it. Normally, in most movies,
Yeah.
Awkwafina is the wild card, Sandra Oh is more of
Yes.
the serious lady, and they really get to own these roles. Like I will say,
Yeah.
Awkwafina, if you know her biography, her filmography, I guess, she did have a movie that she won, I want to say, an Emmy for, a serious drama called The Farewell, where she was fantastic. And this is like the first time since then, which has been like 6 or 7 years, that she gets to play this character. And Will Ferrell is such an endearing, beautiful soul in this. He plays the host of the show, and he's just this lovable guy. And the whole time you think, I don't know, I bet he's an asshole when they're not rolling. But
right, you're waiting
not
for the
at
turn.
all.
No, that's what's funny. It's like his character Terry McTeer, who's been the host of the show the entire run of the 30+ years.
Never missed a night. It's live shows.
You're getting this, like, you're waiting for the bigger Will Ferrell, like, reaction thing to hit, and it seems like it's just bubbling beneath the surface, but it never does. And I love it. It's kind of just like, oh no, oh my god, he's like the Mr. Rogers of game shows, actually. And it's like, I love this. This is a unique character. And then Holland Taylor as the neighbor.
Oh wait, yeah, Holland Taylor is the neighbor. Yes.
Come on, she was so. These packages. You got to tell your postman, like, they don't have the same mail carrier. You're telling they're literally living in a duplex.
It makes no sense. Yeah. And when she goes in and she's in love with that one actor, and she thinks Paul Rubens is him, and she's like, no, that's Pee Wee Herman. And she's like, I don't know who that is. That's not Bill Cummings. What's his face? Not Bill Cummings.
Alan Cummings.
That's Alan Cummings, my favorite actor. That's from The Good Wife or whatever. That's not.
You think I wouldn't recognize my favorite actor? And it's all these references to Alan Cummings, but none of the pictures are right. It's all Paul Rubens. Oh man! And that last scene with him was really sweet. You even get the little
see right him one last time,
right? Yeah. And then I cut off the other.
Yeah. Jason Schwartzman is a character who everyone loves. He's this guy who's about to go on the longest winning streak of the show's history, and he always has this happy, chipper demeanor, but Awkwafina knows there's something off about him. She thinks that he's trying to steal the show away from Will Ferrell's character, and she might not be wrong.
Right.
And
there's one more face I recognize as going through.
Yeah, like Tony Hale as Ben Franklin, fantastic. Some other guys, and I can't put
Tawny Newsome. Tawny Newsome she's running the audition interview when she's tripping balls on stage. Folks, you might recognize her from Space Force as the astronaut that has to fight the battle on the moon and come back to the Earth. It was a fun trip. I don't know what would keep me from rating it just at the absolute apex, but I still really enjoyed it. Like, it was just a good movie, and it was fun. Everyone does a good job. It moves at a steady pace. It doesn't ever feel like it's dragging its feet. The humor stays nice and even keeled, even though it gets a little wacky at some points, but I can forgive it because we don't live in that the entire time. It stays fairly grounded a lot of the time, and I love that the bow tie room set. It's simple, but it's just like, oh man, that was cool. That'd be satisfying to build something like that and just step back and see all that.
And I love the running joke about Burbank. I'm like, I do love Burbank. I'm with her. I mean, I don't know why that's the apex of the world, but fuck yeah, Burbank's great.
Right. Burbank is great. Oh man. Well, I don't know. I think I'm ready to slice this beezer.
Let's do it. What do you got? What are you gonna give?
I'm giving it 3 slices. It's a solid flick. It's a solid entry. Nice.
It's an even kill. Great. Nothing terrible about it. Nothing over ridiculous. Just a fine movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, this is definitely one to check out. Add to the queue for sure when you're ready for a chuckle, especially from these two ladies. Fantastic.
So I think that brings us to the end of our reviews here.
There's the devil. Oh man, yes, that is the last one, folks. Thank you for joining us on another fantastic episode of Movie Toast. But please, if you want to hear some more, follow some more, watch some more, like some more, hit us on the socials at movie_toast. Those of you watching, you can see it down below. But those of you listening, well, I said it already. Yeah. At movie_toast. Yeah.
Or please just search Movie Toast News and Reviews anywhere. We're there. We're putting out content daily. It might not be the most thrilling, but it's not the worst thing you can find on the internet. It's some reviews every single day. You're getting a new review of a movie or a show, a trailer reaction. Like I said, some interviews, some Q&As, just fun stuff. And
yeah.
Good
absolutely. Please give us a follow. Come check us out. If not, please come and give us a review. After you listen to the episode, let us know what you think. If there's anything we could sharpen up, we'd love to just get this thing polished up right and deliver you some awesome toast every other week.
That's true. Can't have too much toast in your life. But no further ado, like we say every episode, please stay toasty. Whatever that means to you.
Yeah. Internalize it, live it, dream it.
Watching. This is really going on forever, this song. I'm not gonna lie, I really still like this little burnt toast guy. He does not want to. I don't know why someone would put burnt toast into the toaster again. All right, we gotta trim that song. It's so fucking long, dude.
Oh, that's fade out did not fade.
Fade out did not do much.
All right,
boy. Yeah,
no fade.
That was an episode.
Thank you for watching, single viewer. Appreciate it. You stuck around.
Yes.
What's up?
If we don't know you, we really
thank what's
you.
up?
If we know you, thank you. Either way, thank you. And I guess I should shut this stream off. Peace.